Hey everyone, I'm Ben and this is a quick start guide for PirateGold, a free-to-play social game on the PlayCulture app. We're creating a new generation of games that make it really easy for anyone to set up and run exciting, tactical play experiences. PirateGold is a dastardly, treacherous, app-supported outdoor improv game. That means the game takes place half in the real world and half on the app. The app manages things like what items you have and digging and burying treasure, and you in the real world manage things like bartering, sword fighting, typically with pool noodles, and trying not to die. Marooned on an island that conceals a bounty of treasures, the aim of the game is to set sail with as much plunder as possible. Assemble a rich crew, beg, steal, borrow, trade, or do whatever it takes. It's completely up to you. PirateGold is perfect for groups of between 8 and 60 people and can be played in a wide range of spaces, between about 100 to 500 meters across. This guide will tell you everything you need to know to set up and run your own PirateGold games. While technically a quick start guide, PirateGold is a big game, and there's a lot of information here. But if you want to become an expert on running this game, you're in the right place, so let's dive in. PirateGold is an expansive game. It really is up to each player to plot their own course. The concept is that all the players are marooned on an island, and the only goal is to set sail from that island before the game time is up with as much gold as possible. There are so many ways to go about this. You can become a trader and buy and sell goods. You can pledge allegiance to the king and hunt bounties for a living. You can be a dirty, rotten thief. You can specialize in gemstones and make deals with pirates. You can become a gold digger and go looking for buried treasure, or some combination of everything. We'll go into more detail on all of these different possibilities later on. For the best experience, we think that pool noodles, or something equally harmless, is required to stand in as swords and daggers, but there are lots of imaginative ways to handle this. Additionally, it's useful to have some cones to mark out a safe zone around any trading posts. Each player needs a smartphone with internet, working GPS, and the free PlayCulture app installed. Our app is completely safe, you don't need an account to play, we don't collect any private data, and we don't show ads. It's worth remembering that it is possible to interact with other app users through our groups, events, or chat features. There are two arena options for PirateGold, random and custom. Both have the same elements, the only difference is that for custom arenas you can choose exactly where they will appear. For random arenas, you can skip this step and go straight to setting up the game. Let's look at how to create a custom arena. Head to the game page and tap Start Game, select PirateGold, then Manage Arenas, and then Create New. Give your arena a name, and then scroll down and tap Create Arena. Then in the Saved Arenas list, tap your newly created arena to edit it. There are three types of landmark you can create in a PirateGold arena: harbours, trading posts, and the arena centre. First, create an arena centre and place it right in the middle of your playing area. You do this by walking to where you want your arena centre to be, and then tapping Set Location. This is where your players will start and finish the game. Next, let's create a trading post. The trading post is a shop where players can buy items or make deals, and is also a safe zone where no murder can take place. It's a good idea to place the trading post somewhere close to the arena centre. You can create more than one trading post, but you should have someone working as a shopkeeper in each. More on that later. For this game, we'll create one trading post in the same place as our arena centre. Players will be able to open the trading post's shop portal when they get near to its location. You can also choose to set a QR code for each trading post. Players can scan this code to open the shop portal when they arrive, which is particularly useful if anyone is having trouble with their GPS. Harbours are where players will go towards the end of the game to set sail and leave the island. Players can also go to harbours to buy and sell goods. Generally, these should be placed at the edges of the arena and not too close to the trading post. For this game, we'll create 3 harbours around the edge of the playing area. Just like trading posts, players can open the harbour portal when they're nearby, and harbours can also have an optional QR code. Now we've created an arena, let's set up the game. Head to the games page, tap Start Game, select PirateGold, and then Set Up Game. We'll leave the time set to now and the visibility set to public so anyone nearby can see our game on the search page. Under Arena, we can select Random or Custom. To use a random arena, make sure you're standing in the middle of your playable area, as your current location will be used as the arena centre and for a single trading post. The harbours will be positioned randomly, so it's possible they might be placed in an inaccessible area, especially if your playing area is not a uniform shape. If this keeps happening, try reducing the arena size. As we've just created a custom arena, let's choose Custom, and select our new arena. We have one more option that controls the spread of in-game items such as buried treasure. If you're finding that players are unable to reach their treasure, try setting the arena to compress. Alternatively, if you have loads of space, set the arena to expand to make the most of it. Boats controls the number of boats that will be generated at the start of the game. Boats are an item that players can collect and might appear in treasure chests. You can generally leave this set to auto, but if you want finer control, you can set the number of boats to generate and how many seats those boats will have. I'll explain more about boats later. Ghost mode sets what will happen when a player dies. If ghost mode is off, players who die will be directed to return to the primary trading post and the game leader can reincarnate them as required. If ghost mode is switched on, players who die will become ghosts who can complete tasks to collect aura and then reincarnate themselves automatically. Usually, you can leave this set to on. We'll leave the number of players who can join set to no limit. Selecting a game duration depends on lots of things. If players are new to the game, we'll often run a shorter game of about 20 minutes first to help them get their bearings. For experienced players, games of 45 minutes to 1 hour or more are normal. For larger arenas, we'll generally run longer to allow for travel time. There's nothing to stop you running longer games, as the balance of power changes frequently and keeps things interesting. For this game, let's select 45 minutes, with a cursory 10-second start and end time. Then tap Create Game. Now we have our game all set up, there's one more thing we have to do before players can join, and that's set the game to open. Tap our newly created game on the game search page and toggle the game to open. For players, your game should now appear on the game search page, and they can tap the plus button to join and enter their pirate name. You can manage players who have joined by tapping your game and scrolling down to the player list. You will see that as well as the option to remove a player, each player also has a waypoint button and a currency button. The waypoint button gives that player a starting treasure map. By default, all players get a treasure map leading to a randomly generated treasure chest when the game begins. The currency button makes that player a shopkeeper. Shopkeeper is like an alternative player role. They run a trading post and don't take part in the main game. Shopkeepers can't be murdered and they can't leave their shop. You will want to play with at least one shopkeeper per trading post. As the game leader, you can also play this role. Just change the switch from lead to play. You'll notice that when a leader joins the game, they join as a shopkeeper by default. You can also invite a player to the game manually. This is particularly useful for players who forget to join or want to join a game that's already running. Tap Invite Player, then if you have them as a contact, you can just tap their avatar, or if not, then tap Scan Code. On the Players app, go to the U page, tap the QR code button below their avatar, and scan it with your phone. Their game screen will update and show an invite to your game. Once all your players have joined, then we're ready to start the game. Open your game from the game search page and tap Start Game. Players' game pages will update to show the pre-game countdown. When the timer reaches 0, the players' game pages will automatically update to show the game screen. At the top, you can see the remaining game time and your current wanted level. Below that, you have your name and total gold. You can tap your avatar to open your personal QR code. This is how you'll exchange items and join boats. On the right is the death button. Tap this if you've been murdered or have murdered someone else. Now is a good moment to talk about swords and death. These are the rules we use for combat, but you're free to invent your own. And remember, every time I say sword, I mean pool noodle. Swords can be purchased at trading posts and are one use. If you murder someone with a sword, that sword has been used. If you're hit by a sword in the body, you're dead. Tap the death button and select I'm dead. You'll see a timer. If that timer reaches 0 and your attacker hasn't scanned the code on your screen, then you survive and continue playing. You're not allowed to move or do anything else in-game from the moment you're hit by the sword until the timer is up or your code has been scanned. If that happens and you're definitely dead, you take the sword that killed you and return it to the nearest trading post to be sold again. If you do murder someone, you will get anything they currently have on them, which includes both their virtual items and any physical items they have. It doesn't include any items in chests they've buried, just things they're carrying when they're murdered. Let's take a closer look at what happens in our example duel. The player who was killed is taking the sword that killed them back to a trading post, as that sword has been used. And the player who did the murdering gets the sword the dead player had. The virtual items are transferred automatically when you scan the death code. Remember, if you murder someone, you'll also get a star added to your wanted level. This makes you worth more to any Kingsman in the game. Any player can become a Kingsman and serve the crown. They're basically bounty hunters who get paid for capturing or murdering pirates. Once you become a Kingsman, you'll be a Kingsman for the rest of the game, and you can't use the dig page or join a crew with a pirate. Kingsmen get a bigger reward if they bring a wanted player back to the trading post alive and deliver them as a prisoner. Dueling with swords, especially long bendy swords, can be indecisive. If it's not clear who got hit first, just reset, take a few steps back, and start again. If you have ghost mode switched on, then when you die, you'll see the ghost page. Being a ghost is a more relaxing experience than being alive. Explore the world with your compass and collect any aura you find by discovering aura hotspots. Once you've found 1,000 aura, you can tap the reincarnate button to come back to life. When you do this, you'll reincarnate with 10% of your aura in gold. So if you collected 1,000 aura, you'll have 100 gold. Below the top bar are the page buttons. The items page shows everything you currently have on you. This could mean valuable items like gold and gemstones, maps, boats, or other items you've purchased. You can tap the exchange button on these items to send them to another player by scanning their QR code. For maps, boats, and other items, you can tap them to view them. The dig page is where you dig up and bury treasure. To bury a chest, select the bury tab, select your chest type and how deep you want to bury it, then tap edit contents to choose which of your items to bury. When you're done, tap bury. You'll need to stay still while the chest is buried. Once the burying is done, your items are stored at that location. If you come back later to the same location and dig, you will find your items, unless someone has seen you bury something and has gone and dug it up. Be stealthy when you're burying stuff, or buy a lockbox from the trading post so that only the key bearer can access the contents. The maps page shows any maps you own and allows you to create a new map to lead you back to where you are currently. Maps are simple compass bearings with a distance readout. The news page shows the wet rag, the local newspaper that alerts you to things that are going on in the game. This can include goods deliveries at harbours or rewards for wanted criminals. Finally, the shop page shows a list of all landmarks in the game and is how you open the shop portal for a trading post or harbour. To open a shop, you either need to navigate to its location and tap Open Shop, or scan the optional QR code at the shop location. Shops, particularly those at trading posts, allow you to do lots of things. Buy new items, exchange items for gold, or pay off bounties. Some items you can buy will give you more options at shops, such as trading goods, bringing in prisoners, or dealing in gemstones. So now you know your way around, the first thing most players should do is follow their starting treasure map and do some digging. After that, the world is your oyster. Speaking of oysters, to complete the game, you'll need a boat. Boats can have between 1 and 9 seats and are found in treasure chests. You can only use your boat to finish the game at high tide, which happens during the last quarter of the game. You'll see this icon at the top of your screen when the tide is high, and tapping a boat will show you how long is left. If you don't have a boat, then you have a few options. You can try to buy one from someone who has a spare. You can join a crew who have an available seat on their boat. You can take a chance on an old treasure map and hope you find one in a treasure chest. Or if you're really stuck, while it is expensive, you can buy a boat directly from a harbour. Once the tide is high, if you travel to a harbour, you can use your boat to set sail and finish the game. In PirateGold, teams are not confirmed until you've boarded a boat and exited the game. The owner of the boat is the captain, who can add other players to their boat by scanning their QR codes. Your total score is the combined wealth of all of your crew members. When you set sail, your score is locked and your game is complete. As the game leader, you have some godlike powers over the game world. When the game is running, open your game from the game search page and scroll down past the leaderboard. These buttons allow you to send any item to any player, reincarnate any player, and manually set the wanted level of any player. Below you have a series of sliders that affect the trading of goods. Behind the goods prices in PirateGold is an economy simulation. Every game will be slightly different, as player decisions affect the market. The volatility slider affects lots of things about the economy. For example, how much trading affects the market price of those goods, as well as an array of other things. Basically, the higher you set this slider, the less stable the market will be. Below that are your stock and frequency controls for each harbour in the game. Harbours are where goods enter the game, and each harbour will specialise in different goods. Stock affects how much of those goods a harbour will keep in stock, think the size of the warehouse, and frequency affects how often a supply ship will restock a harbour. These sliders are randomised at the start of each new game. There are several additional roles that players can play within the game, some of which I've already mentioned. A role is dependent on owning an item. So for example, if you want to be a trader and buy and sell goods, you need to purchase the trader contract from a trading post. As long as you have the contract, you can buy and sell goods. The same is true of the shovel for gold digging, the gem dealer's eyepiece for getting higher rates for selling gemstones, and the kingsman's warrant for bounty hunting. The shopkeeper plays an important role in PirateGold. Not only do they facilitate selling items, such as swords, to players, but a good shopkeeper is also a dynamo who can keep the game interesting. A player who's down on their luck with no gold to their name might seem like they have no options and no way to compete. But time and time again, we've seen shopkeepers turn this situation into something funny, exciting, or entrepreneurial. Sometimes they will employ players to assist them in the shop for a while, or pay them a one-off fee to send a message or collect an item. Sometimes a shopkeeper will agree to loan a player gold for a percentage of their earnings across a particular endeavour. We've even seen shopkeepers arm players to the teeth and send them after pesky pirates who are bad for business. Thinking outside the box here will keep the game interesting and give players a way to leap back into the game. So where do trading posts get their gold? Trading posts are businesses. They sell items like swords, contracts, or maps, and can buy and sell goods. In particular, shopkeepers have access to export deals, where they can get excellent rates for the sale of specific combinations of goods. However, unlike traders, they can't buy goods directly from harbours, as shopkeepers are not allowed to leave their trading post. They have to buy goods from other players. So trading posts will usually want to work with other players to bring them the goods that they can then sell for export. When the game time runs out, or if all players have set sail, the game screen will disappear and players will be directed back to the arena centre. The results leaderboard will appear on the game screen and you can see how everyone did. Players who successfully set sail are at the top and landlubbers are below. If I'm a Kingsman and I get more gold for bringing a player back to a trading post alive, how do I do that? This is only really possible if you're playing with swords and rope cuffs. Rope cuffs are a way to tie someone up without tying them up. Have some lengths of rope that players can buy at the trading post. Then if they're carrying a rope and a sword, when they hit someone with their sword, they can choose to either murder them or tie them up. It's important to never actually tie anyone up, so this is how rope cuffs work. The player to be tied up holds the rope and a knot is tied in the loose end. That player now has to hold the rope and follow you if you lead them until someone unties the knot. Additionally, if you loop the rope around an object, they are tied to that object, again until anyone unties the knot. So if you manage to catch a wanted player and bring them back to a trading post, just open the shop portal and tap Deliver Prisoner and then scan their code. What's the best way to explain the game to new players? We have a player introduction video and an example welcome script for PirateGold on PlayCulture.com that will give you a starting point for how to introduce people to this game, as well as visual references for all the main features of the game. Just head to the games page and select PirateGold. Can I use this app as part of my business? Yes. Our mission is to get more people playing fantastic games. So if you're an individual or sole trader and you want to support yourself by running these events, that's totally fine. If you're planning to do this, we'd appreciate you joining our Patreon to help support the project. If you're a private company or other organization, then please get in touch first. Remember, this is not an exhaustive list of advice, and you need to make your own safety assessments and communicate any important info to your players before you begin. In particular, they should never blindly follow any instruction given to them by a mobile app or by other players. You are responsible for the safety of yourself, your players, and anyone else around you. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or need support to get up and running, just drop us an email and we'll be happy to help.